been 1 week since vacation, which was our last video.
I had my birthday.
Rosie had her birthday. And then
This last weekend.
If you live in Reading, you probably know everything that's happened in the last week. And most of the people that watch our videos live in Reading. And so there was a huge fire. There is a huge fire.
So today's Monday, we share our videos on the day of because that's where we are. A week ago today, this fire started up west of Whiskey Town, which is a big lake fire town. And it started with a vehicle failure, I think.
It's like a tire came off the vehicle's rim while they were driving, and a few sparks flew out and started this fire. And it wasn't that big of a deal because it was
we have fires all the time.
And it's fire season, and it's just, fires happen in Reading. It is a fact of life because it's 110 degrees every single day. And
we live in the mountains.
We live in the mountains. And so this fire is not a huge deal. It's not really on our radars. They're calling it the Carr fire.
Carr fire. It was smoky out past Whiskey Town, but it's smoky all summer.
Which is still, there are definitely a few months every summer that Reading is just covered with plumes of smoke rolling through from the fires that are happening. But this one was totally different because 4 days ago?
It was normal. It was like a normal fire all the way till on Wednesday. I was house sitting, and you could see the flame, which were way across town. You could see the outline of the flames on the mountains, and we were like, "Oh, that's crazy! You can see that. What if it came into Reading?" But there's no way it would happen because that never happens.
And that was new. I've never seen flames on the mountains. It's always just smoke coming from
It was just glowing. It was weird. And then Thursday morning, I woke up. His sister slept at the house I was house sitting with me, and I was woke up to a text that was my dad said, the fire's so much bigger now. It went from 6,000 to 20,000 acres.
So I woke up across town
in West Reading, and I woke his sister up, and I was like, "There's a fire right next to your house."
Because I live on West Reading. She lives on East, which is where we've been for the past couple days. But I woke up and she called me and was like, "Hey, the fire tripled in size."
Double. Well, no, I guess tripled.
Yeah, because it went from 6 to
12. Yeah.
Math. It tripled in size, and you guys are probably going to be evacuated because it was moving towards West Reading. That's the direction it was going.
But there's still there's a couple miles between the lake and West Reading. So everyone was like, "Oh, maybe he lives right on the edge of West Reading, right before it goes to the lake."
It's basically forest, and then some subdivisions, and then Buenaventura, which is the road that I live on, and then my house is right there. And so we woke up, and there's just smoke, just covering, and there's ash falling on our cars, and
ash, I was way on this side of town, and there was ash over my car, which means there was just pieces of burnt leaves and stuff.
Straight up pine needles from miles away. And so our family's kind of freaking out. We're should we take it seriously? Should we just should we pack all of our stuff up? Should we actually leave? Because we don't really know. We see there's an evacuation center, but it's really close to our house. And so we're okay, we're good at our house. And then
there was no ordered evacuation. The sky that night got super orange and weird. We all were like, "Oh, it's just smoke. It's just smoke at the lake. It's really big, but it's fine." So he and my dad and I went to a movie, and he was like, "Oh, I need to leave my phone on just in case my mom says I need to come back."
As soon as we sat down for the movie, my mom calls me and was like, "Hey, wind's picked up. It's moving towards our house. We're gonna get out, but I need you to come back to drive the car out." And so I went home. We drove to Rosie's house. We've been here for 4 days, right?
Since Thursday night. But Thursday night was they came, we had another family come.
Yeah. Everyone's coming.
No one knew what to do, and they were coming so fast, and it was burning into Reading, which has never happened before, but there was no ordered evacuations all day, so people were literally running from the fires, so.
It doubled in size that night again to 40,000 acres, and then it doubled again last night, right?
No, it doubled Thursday night from 20,000 to 40,000, which is when it was burning into it, which was That was the scariest night. No one slept. We were all just watching the news as long as we can.
Yeah.
We even were far away.
There wasn't even news.
Far away, and we packed our cars.
There wasn't even news locally because
they evacuated our news station.
They evacuated the news station, so it was news from Chico talking about what was happening here.
Eureka. So Thursday night was super intense. Scary. And then Friday, we're like, oh, no one knew what was going to happen Friday, if the winds were going to keep pushing or if it was going to shift or whatever. And so everyone was just super on edge. And it doubled in size again Friday night from 40,000 to 80,000 acres, but it started pushing north and south. Still along Reading, so people are still evacuating.
So thankfully it was coming down from Whiskeytown, and our house is right here, and it like started to move around our house, which was really nice.
His house is literally like all the maps of evacuation. His is like on the corner.
Yeah, which makes sense because they're trying to hold the fire there, but it's coming around like on the really foresty areas, and so it was good for us, but just really terrible for all the homes here because it ended up jumping the river and it just spilled into these neighborhoods and just took so many people's homes. Even people that were staying here at this house had their homes burned down, and it's just like this waiting, like, because there's no coverage from there. You don't know if your house is still up. All you can see.
We're just watching live videos of people that somehow got into neighborhoods, just like like literally they're naming off addresses, and we're like, okay, that house is okay, that one's not okay. We had some really close friends. They lost everything.
So many close friends that lost everything.
There's a total. The count right now is 713 homes burned down, and then I forgot how many structures. But that was Saturday. And then Saturday we knew it was blowing north and south, so we knew we were okay, and his house was okay. We went back to his house to get stuff. It wasn't like dangerous to go there. It was just dangerous to stay because of how thick the smoke is. Here it's still like the air quality is dangerous to be outside. So we've just been waiting all weekend and just staying inside and going crazy. And then yesterday we were like, okay, this really isn't a problem that's going away, and it's a huge problem. So it's been a lot of like, what do we do now? It's not burning into Reading anymore. It's just burning out in the hills, which there's still houses and communities out there. So it's really scary for like places I go in Trinity. It's gone all the way up into Williston and stuff like that, which is really scary. So it's not like people's lives. It's still really scary. It's just not pushing into Reading now. So now it's like, how can Reading help? A lot of the people that evacuated on Thursday night, since there was no time, they didn't get to save any of their special things. Or it's summer, so everyone was on vacation too.
Yeah.
They're coming home to nothing.
So it's just devastating what's hit Reading and devastating what's this community has to go through now after the fire burns out, because there's so much to rebuild, and
it's the biggest. I mean, the president declared a state of emergency in Redding, California, and people don't really know where Redding, California is, and now the whole world knows because we've been on world news and everything because it was a state of emergency.
And nothing like this has ever even happened before. It's not like, oh wow, this fire's like, nothing's happened like this since the last year. It's just, this is it. So next time there's a big fire, it's going to be like, there's never been a big fire like this since the Carr fire. It's like, it's a huge deal. And we're both very fortunate to not have been affected directly by it.
But it's still traumatizing.
But it's traumatizing, and there's so much to do, and there's so much that this community has to go through now in order to get back to normal life.
So today it's been a week since all weekend it was only 3% contained. Like they just couldn't catch up. Today we woke up and it's 20% contained, and it's at 98,000. Well, almost 99,000 acres. So we're over 100 miles. Whatever acreage converts over to miles.
How many? It's like 700 or something structures.
723 residences, 3 commercial structures, 240 outbuildings. 6 people have died. Yeah.
It's just, right now it's time for everyone to come together and to have hope for the future, and to keep the people who are going through complete loss in their prayers, and just, I don't know.
If you want to help, there's different ways to help.
True.
If you're in Reading and you're okay, there's lots of places to volunteer. I know a lot of churches in town are just collecting things, I know Simpson is collecting things, Shasta is collecting just normal house things like baby stuff and food and just necessities that people aren't grabbing. I know, like, they have all the dogs down and they had evacuate. At first, everyone took their animals to the Humane Society when they were evacuating, and then the Humane Society had to evacuate. So now everyone's dogs are in
Anderson
the Anderson outlets. So we went down there yesterday, and there's just crates and crates of dogs. So there's a lot of places to volunteer.
It's all online. Really easy to find.
It's all online and easy to find. And if you're starting to feel stuck, that's what help. Other than that.
Yeah.